Here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. Now, I don't want you to miss the play on words that Jesus uses here. He calls Nathanael an Israelite. Do you all remember who the man Israel was? When the Bible classes start this next trimester? Going on right now? See you in Bible class. Israel. Israel was the name given to Jacob. Who was Jacob? Jacob was the deceiver. A man full of deceit. That's who Israel was. He deceived his twin brother Isaac. He deceived Esau, pardon me. He deceived his father Isaac, his twin brother Esau. He deceived his father-in-law Laban. He deceived Leah, y'all. He didn't love her, but he kept having babies by her. Oh, I stepped on somebody else's toe. I just stumbled up on another sermon. Just going to have to wait for another Sunday. But just so your neighbor does not miss that point, tell your neighbor, watch out for brothers who keep having babies by women they do not love. Turn on the other side. Turn on the other side. And ask a question. Ask this question to your other neighbor. Why would any woman sleep with a man she knows does not love her? We got to leave that alone this Sunday. Well, that is who Jacob or Israel was. Oh, yes, I'm the great pretender. Israel, the great pretender, a man full of deceit. He deceived his daddy on his dying bed, a low-life rascal. Jesus calls Nathanael an Israelite, a descendant of Jacob with no deceit in him. Nathanael didn't try to pretend. Nathanael didn't try to deceive Philip. Look at it. I love it. He didn't like Jesus. Hadn't even met him. Just heard where it came from. That sounds like a lot of haters today. Folk who judge me don't know a thing about me. Just what they heard. He didn't like Jesus. And we saw last week that he didn't like Jesus because he didn't like himself. And he didn't like his own people. When you are under oppression, you let the oppressors' impressions of you define you. You start thinking about yourself, what other folk tell you to think about yourself, and all them folk who look like you. Jesus said, I love it, there is no deceit in this man. In other words, he don't like me. He don't like himself. He don't like his own people. And he's too honest to try to hide what he thinks or feels. But I love him in spite of him. He wears no mask, no deceit. He makes no pretense, no deceits. But I love him in spite of him. And as we saw last week, I can use him in spite of him. I can work with somebody who does not have it all together. Now, how did Jesus get to know all of that about Nathanael when Nathanael is just walking up on him in today's text? That was Nathanael's question also. Look at verse 48. Where did you get to know me? Look at this profound statement Jesus makes in response to Nathanael's question. Jesus says, I saw you before Philip found you. I saw you under a fig tree, which is to say, Christ sang it earlier, the I am that I am, who was with God in the beginning. As John the Beloved reminds us, the one who says in the book of John, before Abraham was, I am. Jesus sees you when you ain't even got Jesus on your mind. Jesus sees everything you do. Jesus hears everything you say. And Jesus knows everything you think. The psalmist says he knows your thoughts from afar off, which is to say he knows your thoughts before you can even think them, which makes this passage even more powerful, because that means that Jesus is saying to Nathanael and to somebody sitting under the sound of my voice right now, I see everything you do. I hear everything you say. I know everything you think. And if you hook up with me, I can use you in spite of you. Nathanael believed because of what Jesus said, and we stopped reading in verse 49. But in verse 50 and verse 51, Jesus tells Nathanael, you have seen for yourself who I am, but guess what? You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come. You will see greater things than these. You will see in person what the first one called Israel only saw in a dream. In spite of where you are now, because you have hooked up with me, I am going to work a work in your life that not even you will be able to understand. Now, there are three principles in this text that I want to lift up for you very quickly. First, the issue of transparency. Say transparency. No, say it like you mean it. Transparency. Nathanael was transparent. In response to Philip's transparency, Philip just said, man, I'm telling you, there's nobody like Jesus. Come and see for yourself. He was transparent, not trying to hide anything, not trying to fool anybody. Nathanael was just as transparent, self-doubting, self-negating, self-hating, and a toxic view toward anything and anybody that came out of the hood. After all, that is what he had been taught. Nathanael was transparent, no guile, no deceit, no make pretend. And Jesus, who sees through all of our masks anyway, Jesus can take our transparencies and mold us with truth because he is the truth. Jesus can transform us, which is the second issue in this text, divine transformation. How the Lord sees us as we are, especially when we are honest, and how the Lord can transform us, take us from where we are now to what we will be in him, and what we will see because of him, and what we will do as he molds us, as he shapes us, as he works with us, as he works on us, and as he works through us. Say transformation. Jesus tells Nathanael how he will be transformed because of his belief. But it is that issue of belief that is the ultimate issue for me in this text. Belief, Nathanael says, Rabbi, you are the Son of God. Teacher, you are the King of Israel. And Jesus says, you believe on the basis of what I said. Belief. Say belief. Philip believed. Belief. Simon Peter believed. Belief. Andrew believed. Belief. And belief is another word for trust. This text teaches us about transparency. Say transparency. Being honest with the Lord. This text teaches us about transformation. Say transformation. That's being changed by the Lord. But the text also teaches about belief, which is trusting the Lord. Say transparency. Transformation. Trust. Do you trust him enough to follow him, even when you can't see where he is leading you? Jesus is all the world to me. That's the hymn we sang earlier. I want no better friend. I'll trust him now. I'll trust him when life's fleeting days shall end. Trust in the Lord, Solomon said, with all thine heart trust, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In other words, when you can't track his head, you can't fathom what he is thinking, and when you can't trace his hand, you can't see what he is doing, can you trust his heart and just lean on his love in wonder? I wonder, can you trust him this Sunday? Now, there are two calls this Sunday. One of the reasons I established ground rules and didn't want anybody leaving. Two calls similar to the two calls we gave last Sunday, similar yet different. Now, the first call is for discipleship, relationship, and membership. Trust him. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. As the minister of music begins to play, if you do not have, keep your seats. The deacons are going to take their place, but I want you to keep your seats. If you don't have a personal relationship with the Lord, like Andrew had, like Simon Peter had, like Philip had, like Nathanael had, and you want a personal relationship this Sunday, and you hear that